It's that time.
Yes, sir. Come on.
You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Come on.
We talking Barbells and Brews in here. Every week talking fitness and how to get this favorite beer. They feature on brew every week. On top of that, give you tips on keeping your stomach flat, looking sleek. Chaz and Jean got you covered on both scenes. You'll be curling 16s and mastering your cleans. You ain't gotta listen to no one else. They mix fun with education to better yourself. What more could you ask for? Hit subscribe if you wanna keep your lifting and drink game live. Your workout lacking, your diet need help. With Barbells and Brews, leave your worries on the shelf, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, it's Barbells and Brews, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, with Chaz and Jean, you can't lose. Come on.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Gene Volpe, Barbells and Brews, episode 2. I'm here with my sidekick, Chaz Dembrowski.
What's going on, guys?
Man?
How you doing? What's going on, guys? How are you? I'm sorry, I'm a little clouded right now from that workout, but I'll be with you shortly.
All right, so while we're talking about that, let me give the people some background here because you probably can hear the music.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. No, a lot of it. I don't know, unless these mics don't pick it up, but if I watch my sound, it's not too bad. So it's probably only getting a little bit of it. They're getting more of me for sure than anything else. But what's happening right now is we are again at Paul Bunyan Fitness in Newtown Square, and Chaz just finished up CrossFit Open Workout 19.5.
The last one. I'm all done.
You're glad too because it was a tough one, wasn't it?
Listen, it's the toughest one yet.
You were not. I got a chance to judge you. You were not feeling very well about 5 minutes into the show.
I was not. No, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was my diet today or whatever I ate, but today was rough. Today was one of my rougher days for sure.
So if you listened to the first episode and you saw our mission statement, you know that we're doing the podcast because we want to talk about the fitness, and we do the fitness so we can drink all the beers.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And so we are going to drink some beers. If you're watching the live video, you'll see the bottle that we have today, and you're going to hear me try to say the beer, but I know I'm going to screw it up.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear you pronounce the beer, actually.
So I've been told by people that know that it's Duchesse du Bourgogne.
Better than I would have said it.
Listen, people that are listening from Belgium and wherever around the world that have different, that know multiple languages are probably laughing at me right now. But
probably.
Here's what I do know. I cheated this week, and I got a beer that I'm very familiar with, and I would tell you that this one, have you ever had this one yet?
Never.
Okay. So this one's in my top 5 for sure favorites of all time.
Wow.
It's a Flemish sour ale.
Flemish sour. I'm a big fan of sours.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I love sours.
I was a little worried about that.
No, I'm not as cultured, but I've had some sours in my day.
Well, this one, if you like them, I say this goes up against just about anyone out there. I think my favorite is a Rodenbach Grand Cru.
Okay.
Which is probably my favorite beer ever. And we should do that one time. We'll review that as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool to kind of bring on our own personal favorites once in a while and really talk about why we like them, the story behind them, and
that's not a bad idea. And I'll tell you this: we talked in between episodes about the pours, right? Remember when you said people are going to rip us apart for the pour?
Yep.
This one will get ripped apart because of the glass that we're using.
Because don't you use a chalice?
Yeah, with these we should have a different type.
A chalice, yeah.
And this will be fine. Don't get me wrong; it'll be fine. But if we were true beer snobs, we probably, and you know what? Maybe that's our next gig. We get a bunch of glasses depending on the kind of the beer.
We really need, we're going to up our glass game for sure. I think get some personal logos on our mugs here.
I have somebody to do that, actually. Red Dog Designs are going to do that for us.
Yeah, and I think we should really start to get into specifics because, listen, I mean, there's a science behind it for sure. I'm not entirely sure on the specifics of the science, but there's reasons why we use different glasses for different kinds of beer.
There's no question. And we can learn that together as we go. I mean, just like I'm learning a little bit of the health stuff from you.
I'm going to learn the beer stuff from you.
Yeah, I don't know what that says about me. But I'll take it. So why don't we just really recap real quick. We were talking about the CrossFit Open 19.5. Why don't we, or as they say, 19.5. Why don't we go through real quick? That workout was what?
So the workout was a a 4-time workout. So it was 33, 27, 21, 15, 9 of thrusters, which is a front squat into an overhead press, followed by chest to bar pull-ups.
So explain to the people, because if you're not familiar with these type of workouts, first of all, explain what 4-time is.
So 4-time is your goal to get the workout done in the fastest time possible. So 4 a time, 4 the quickest time.
Okay. So in this particular case, they actually capped it. So nobody goes longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah, so every workout, I'm not sure if it's every workout, but most of the workouts, there will be that cap.
Right.
There will be that, okay, you have a 20-minute cap. Even though it's for time, they don't want people going for a half hour.
Like, for example, me, it would literally take me from Tuesday to Thursday to finish what you just did.
Just to finish that,
If there was no cap on it, I wouldn't be able to have a job.
Well, we also should still talk about why there's a cap, and I don't have Dave Castro, the director of the CrossFit Games here.
Right.
But if I were to ask him why, I would think that there's a safety aspect to it.
I would agree 100%.
And I think if we would let people go, or if they would let people go, to whatever time they want, we might have some issues with some safety precautions being passed by.
Oh, there's no question, dude. People would be dying.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the best thing in the world.
Well, listen, you almost everything from today almost came up about 4 minutes into this.
Everything I ate was about to be on that gym floor, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, and you somehow you kept it down, and like I said, I was judging you, so I give you a lot of credit for the way you ended it. You came full force, and it's almost like you got a second win. But are you going to do it again?
No
shot.
No, this will be the one and done, as they say.
Yeah, it didn't look fun, and I pushed it off. I'm going to do it probably tomorrow or Sunday, and I wish I hadn't pushed it off because I got a chance to see it. Now I'm like regretting the fact that I got to do it, and it's not done.
I mean, for anyone who knows us or CrossFit in general, the huge majority of the population is doing this for the community aspect and to see where you fall in that fitness range. And so I'm doing this purely for the community aspect to see if I've progressed from years before.
Yep.
There's no games aspirations here. We both got jobs, so we do it for the fun of it and to stay fit, to drink the beers.
And I'll say this. I mean, I tell people this whoever listened on the last episode, we probably mentioned it as well, but I really, really all year look forward to the Open. I mean, I just love the 5 weeks where you don't know. So we talked about it last time, but if you didn't hear it, every Thursday, Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time, they release the new workout, and you have till Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern time to finish it and record it. So you don't know. So, like, the waiting for it, it's almost like Christmas. Like, when it comes, you're like, oh, it's coming out tonight. What do you think it's going to be? What do you think the workout's going to be? There's always guessing and stuff. So,
yeah.
And then, really, like you said, I really like to put myself up against myself from the previous years and see what I'm doing. And sometimes the reps are less, but the weight is more. And sometimes the weight is less, but the reps are more. I got finished faster. So, like, if you're making progress, it's always, and you can hear the last workout, 19.5 is done because the music went away. Right?
Finishing up.
Yeah, so now we can actually hear each other as opposed to listening to what's going on. So here's what we're going to do, actually. I'm going to cut this little piece in half for a second, and here's what I want to do. Being that we're 8 minutes into this already, we haven't cracked the beer. I'm going to open this up.
We need to do this. Yeah.
But while I open it up and pour it, I want you to explain again. So the workout itself was thrusters. Explain it better because people don't know what 33, 27, 21. Like, explain, because if you really understand the way the workout is designed, most people are going to go, why would you do that to yourself, right? So explain a little bit better what the workout was.
So in the 33, 27, 21, 15, 9 is the rep range. So there will be 33 reps of the thruster, which is a front squat with a barbell, into an overhead press out of a full squat position, followed by the chest to bar, which is you pulling up to the bar, so a regular pull-up, but instead of getting your chin over the bar, you're getting your chest to the bar. So it's scaled as getting the bar to your chest below the collarbone. So you do 33 reps of a thruster, you do 33 reps of a chest to bar, then you go 27 reps of the thruster, 27 reps of the chest to bar, all the way down to 9. Or like me, you get as far as you can in those 20 minutes and count your reps as what you finished with. So why would you do it? That's a really good question. I think, like you said before, I mean, the Open's about testing yourself. I think we get too caught up in competition versus everyone else. And I think if we started to look at just the competition within ourselves from year to year, that we could see if we progress from years past in terms of weight and reps. And I think that's what it's really all about. And once we look at how far we progress, we can just keep fighting the fight.
And what's great too, like, wait, don't sip it yet.
I'm not.
What's great too is, like, you do compete against yourself. And I think most people are like, why do you go to the gym 5 times a week to compete against other people? And you don't. Some people do. And I'll tell you that I think one of the greatest parts about what we do, especially here at Paul Bunyan Fitness, you see I did that, little plug, is that, like, guys like Kevin, so Kevin Lafferty has become a really good friend of mine, like you, at these places. Now, you're on a different level than I am, right? And so's Kevin, really. But Kevin's close enough in stature and make and model and the way he works that I chase him a little bit. So, like, what he does is almost attainable to me. So there's, like, a healthy competition between us to push each other.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
for sure.
You know, like, I watch Jordan. There's no way I'm going to do what Jordan does. Jordan's one of our trainers here. I can't do what he does. So it's almost like, oh, good, that's great. Like, what he did was fantastic. I'm not holding myself to that standard.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listen, when you start that focus of looking at other people and what they do and saying to yourself, I should be there or I should be going that type of speed or with that type of weight, is where you lose. A lot of times. Now, there is healthy competition, and I think it's interesting. We're going to get into CrossFit a little bit more deeply today and kind of the critiques out there and also the benefits that we kind of talk about on a daily basis. But once you get into that competition versus other people, you might lose why you did it in the first place. And I think that once we kind of look at competing against our own numbers and our own weights is where we kind of find that motivation and that success. Yeah.
No, you said it well. And also, we do it for the beer. So let's talk about doing it for the beer.
Let's doing it for the beer.
So this is called Duchesse. We'll leave it at that.
Duchesse.
We should reach in and toast. There we go. To your health and fitness, my man.
Let's go to 19.5.
And while you're to 19.5, to the open being done. So while he's trying that, I'll tell you that this one is 6% ABV, and it's got an 11 on the IBU scale. That is International Bitterness Units, which I believe on the lower end means it's not as bitter as a lot more beers are. So while he's tasting it, so I'm doing a little bit of the talking. I'm curious to see what he says because I ramped this beer up. I hyped it up a little bit because it's one of my favorites, so he may be disappointed. So talk to me about it while I drink it.
So my young and naive beer tasting adventures, that's up there for sure.
You love it?
Oh, I would. Listen, I mean, have we come out with a rating yet? Because I think we should really talk about a rating system about what we want to do with these beers. But if we were doing like a 10-point scale here,
let's start it
let's
here.
Do it.
Barbells and Brews,
10-point
give it
scale.
a what?
I would put that up there. That's got to be up in like the 8.8, 8.9 range, maybe even a 9.0.
That's lofty, dude. We got to make sure that we reserve that for some of the best. A 9.0 out of a 10 is pretty high.
Listen, I got to tell you what. There's a reason it came in that bottle because it's good. It's really good.
For the folks that can't see it, if you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Barbells and Brews Show, I think, or Barbells and Brews, one or the other. If you go to our website, barbellsandbrewshow.com, you'll be able to link to it. If you're not watching it, it comes in what looks like a 750 ml wine bottle. And when we came in today, it was sitting there, and Chaz busted my stone and says, I thought this was a brew show, not a wine show. And I said, well, it's kind of the wine of beers. It's like up there, man.
Listen, I get it. I really do.
You have been introduced to the Duchesse, and that's one of those. It's not now. Listen, it's not cheap. It's not super expensive.
So what is it? How much is it?
So that bottle there. What is this one? So this one is the 1 pint 9.4 fluid ounces. I got to imagine it's about 750 ml. I poured 2 full beers out of it, so it's 30.
So this is so like a regular. So the unoriginal beer glass is 2 full beers for that bottle.
Yeah,
okay.
2 for this bottle, and this was $12. So $11.99, $6 a beer figure.
That's not bad at all for that.
Well, for as
beer.
good as it is, you don't care,
dude. That's why. You know what? Now I'm really sticking hard to that 9.0 because for the price of that, And
So, So are we taking into account pricing when we do this?
oh, I think so for sure. Yeah.
All right, okay.
I mean,
no, I like it. I like that this is being built right now. I like it.
we gotta look at that price, because if we're gonna start to look at price as a factor here, and the buyability of getting this beer after a night of working out, right? You gotta take that into fact.
I think it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely makes sense, because if you pay a lot of money for something that sucks, you're going to rate it a lot lower. You're much more unhappy with the purchase when it's like that, right?
Yeah, of
Versus if you buy a beer that sucks and it costs you $1.50, you don't care so much. Really, it's not that big of a deal.
No.
All right, it's
Like if you were to
$1.50
tell me that was a $20 bottle right there, my rating might have changed, because my expectations are higher. You know.
that makes sense. Well, let me ask you: if I had told you that was $20, would you have changed for
A
that?
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would.
8.5.
Yeah. Maybe a little lower.
All right, so because of the price consideration, you're liking it out of a 9.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, you know what? I think we should do this. Like, I'm going to rate it on Untapped. Like, if you don't have the Untapped application.
Yeah, if you guys are following us, get on Untapped.
Yeah, and actually, you can follow us, I think, on Untapped.
Yeah.
Us personally.
Mm-hmm.
We have to figure that out. I'm still fairly new to it, but
No, Google Play Store. I'm not an Android guy, but you are, so we got Apple and Android, but Apple Store has it, Untapped. It's free to download. If you're a beer guy or girl, go on it, register. All you got to do when you go to either a beer store or a restaurant even, which is kind of cool too, you can look up the beer that's on tap. In fact, they give you the beers that are on tap at the restaurant. So before you even go, you know what you can be getting from the restaurant.
and you can. I don't know if you saw this yet, but you can set notifications. So if you have a beer,
Really?
yeah. So here's what happens: if you have a beer that you like, you can mark it, and when a place in the area goes on Untapped and tells you they have it in stock, you get notified.
That's awesome.
It's pretty slick.
That convenience is there. And wait until Alexa gets on that. We're going to be sitting here ordering
beer.
from Alexa.
I agree. I listen, right? And hopefully they'll deliver it quick enough, like Uber Eats. While we're sitting here, we can have it delivered while we're sitting here.
Dude.
That'd be pretty
There we
sweet,
go.
right?
That'd be
Maybe
awesome.
we'll never leave.
No, I wouldn't.
We got to talk to Ryan and the boys about maybe getting a cot in here or something. I don't know if my wife will like that very much.
She
but
probably wouldn't. My wife would definitely not like that. But
I think your wife might like that.
the
If
time
you're-
away.
Yeah,
The
if you're
time
out,
away.
If you're out of her hair, she might be.
I'm
okay with it.
I'm at the gym already enough, so she's probably like, you might as well just chill there for a couple of extra hours
Yeah,
more.
leave me be, man. She just went and got her nails done right before this episode, so
Awesome.
she's happy. She's probably happy.
She probably is.
You're just making a face,
Yeah.
which is great. So
I love
all
my
right,
wife.
So let's talk about what you wanted to talk about. So we're drinking our beers. This is wonderful. The topic of the show today was Duchesse, and what's the topic? We talked 19.5 real quick, and really, we ate up a lot of time actually doing that. So I'm going to spend the last portion of this getting into your ideas about what the show is about. So why don't we jump into that?
Yeah, so during the show, I want to talk about current events. I want to talk about what's hot right now. I want to talk about what's hot in the fitness world, the health world, specifically maybe even CrossFit here and there, which is kind of what we're going to talk about today. For those of you who follow CrossFit or who don't, this will probably apply to you too. So I want to say probably a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago,
Yep.
I would kind of put, for those of you who don't know, Jillian Michaels, the Biggest Loser host.
Yep.
She went,
I think we're going a different route with that. And I was going to say, don't
Oh, no.
say negative things about people.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, we'll get into it. But
Okay.
She went on Shape, I'm pretty sure, which is a magazine, and
Yep.
she was videotaped talking about her concerns and her critiques of CrossFit. And she went on to go say about how CrossFit only had a couple of movements, there was only a couple of workouts that they did, and basically going on saying that CrossFit was not the most effective way to get fit.
Okay.
And so, what do you think about that? What do you think about someone who has a very popular, I would say fairly popular voice in the fitness community,
Yep.
talking crap about the
This is
way
what
that
I
you
think.
do?
This is what I think about that. Opinions are like assholes,
Everyone has one.
and they all stink.
Yes.
Right? So, no, listen. I'm kidding, of course. If Jillian, if you're listening, we love you, babe.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
No. But,
we can still love you and disagree.
yeah, and point it directly, like you're on the side. You got to get it straight in your face.
Straight in my face.
Because it's a uni. So, here's what I think about it for real. I honestly think it was a publicity stunt, if I'm being honest.
You do?
I do. Here's why. She seems like I've seen enough about her to know she's smart enough to know that you don't just make a blanket statement like that.
she's been critical of CrossFit in the past.
I'm okay with if you being critical, right? Like, I get people are critical about it because here's the reality. This isn't any profession. Our place is phenomenal because of the training. The guys that we have and the girls that we have here know what functional fitness and functional movement is. They know what that is. And I always say, I remember all the time, the first 30 days I was here, I was like, dude, this is an expensive-ass membership for you to have me throwing around PVC pipe.
Yeah, I mean, the
Right?
average for a CrossFit membership per month is about $130 a month. I mean, you're looking upwards of that amount.
Yeah, and that's, listen, for me to throw around a PVC pipe, which in case nobody knows, we use these dowels for stretching and stuff. It weighs every bit of, like, it's about as heavy as a slice of bologna, right? And I'm like, dude, I've been here 30 days, and you still got me throwing this stuff around. And I remember Cameron and Jordan at the time were like, just trust us. Believe me, it'll make sense. And the first time I actually picked up a real weight to do the movements, I was like, oh, thank you. I know exactly what you were doing, and I appreciate it. I wish I had understood this. Because what they were doing was set me up with the proper movements so I wouldn't get hurt. So the point there is the training in our box right here has always been absolute top-notch. That's not the case everywhere,
No,
right?
it hasn't been. And unfortunately, in any profession, in any realm of life, you have a few bad apples who spoil
Listen,
the
there's
bunch.
bad teachers out there, right?
Yeah.
You still go to Yale.
Yep, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I get it. So I think she made a blanket statement. So here's my thing, right? She's in the fitness community. For her to make a statement like that is an ignorant statement, which tells me one of two things. She's uninformed, or she was doing it for a reason, a calculated reason. I personally don't think she's uninformed.
See, I'm going to go with that way. And I'm going to tell you why I think she's uninformed.
Oh, you think she's
I
uninformed?
think she's uninformed.
See, I don't.
You don't. So you think that she researched CrossFit. So she went on the CrossFit.com. She looked at what their workouts are, what they preach, what their mission statement is, and you think based on all of that she came back and said, you know what, this is how I feel.
I think that this is why I said I feel like it could have been a publicity stunt, because I feel like she's been in the fitness world long enough to know what it is and how it works. She probably has a ton of friends that do it, right?
Well, her co-host on the show, the name is escaping me.
Okay.
But the co-host of her of the Biggest Loser show is actually someone who does CrossFit.
Yeah, so she knows. So to make a statement like that while she knows how this operates is her trying to pull eyeballs and views. She's trying to get in the news.
Here's the thing. I've always been someone who looks at the person who protests too much is usually got something going on.
Right.
If you have to go out of your way to criticize a workout trend, it's because of one of two things. Either the workout trend is getting too popular and you want to kind of jump into that realm, or you are not okay with that trend and you want to keep people from doing it. And I feel like you got to look at how it works. For example, she said that CrossFit has only a few movements. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact, and I could probably count them off, that CrossFit has 96 movements. 96
really? Is that
movements.
true? Did you just make that up?
No, I'm telling you right now.
Really?
We can go through them one by one.
Okay.
But 96 movements that CrossFit has, just from what I've seen from our gym.
Right.
And also just from looking at the CrossFit's programming.
Okay.
On CrossFit.com.
So you taught me something there. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, if you follow other popular YouTubers out there who follow CrossFit, they've done that. So we're not the first people to critique her critique. We are far from it. She's had people come out of the woodwork in the CrossFit community and elsewhere,
right,
talking about how a lot of her statements are unfortunately misinformed.
Right. And again, I don't think she's. So I think the guy you were talking about was Bob Harper.
Yes.
Is that
yep,
who? I
exactly.
Googled it while we were sitting here talking. So yeah, I just feel like for her to make a blanket statement, that's like me saying like, this beer is good and all Flemish ales are good. Like, am I uninformed or am I trying to cause a stir? In that case, I'm uninformed because we know we didn't drink all the Flemish ales out in the world. So how can I make a statement like that? So for her to say, I feel like, or maybe she was threatened, right? Maybe she's threatened by CrossFit. I'm
CrossFit, contrary to popular belief of some people in the community, CrossFit is still growing.
Yeah.
CrossFit is still growing. Now, this Open wasn't a testament because CrossFit Open registrations are down from previous years. The last estimate because of the new Open changes, and we can get into that in a different episode, but the changes have been down. Regardless, though, memberships are increasing.
So say that again. Memberships are what?
Are increasing overall in the CrossFit community.
Okay.
And so she very well could see that rise and think that she might need to get some skin in the game because she sees that. Whether she's concerned about people's overall health or she's concerned about other things is the question that can be asked.
I certainly am going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she cares about her people and she cares about people's health. I certainly wouldn't question that. But I would just question that when you make a statement like that, you're not looking at the whole picture. I mean, look, I happen to know we've seen some of these people. The people that are at their absolute peak in CrossFit are freak shows. They're the absolute pinnacle of health.
Yeah.
These people are not me, and you more so than me, but not me. But I'm in way better shape mentally and physically and from a diet perspective than I was 6 years ago before I started this.
Yeah.
So different strokes, different folks, right? So maybe it's not for her. Maybe it's not for her. And that's why I said opinions are like assholes.
And
she's got her thing. It's worked for her in the past. I'm not sure why she felt the need to take that shot. I don't know. And again, I kind of feel like she's smart enough to have been informed. Maybe she was taking a shot to get some pub. I don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because we preach the CrossFit methodology here. We think it works. We think it has successes. And so when someone with that many followers and that much influence in the health and fitness community speaks out, I think it's worth noting and I think it's worth debating. By no means am I putting her down or questioning her.
No, it didn't seem that way at all.
Fitness expertise, but I really want to start a conversation between people in the CrossFit community and people in other fitness communities. I mean, whether it's weightlifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding, we need to really have a discussion about letting people in their environments succeed in their environments and be happy in those environments if they're being healthy and safe.
Listen, I'll never besmirch you or say anything negative about you for you getting better.
No.
And I don't care if you're doing Pilates.
Doesn't matter
if you're doing yoga.
Nope.
I don't care if you're doing Jillian Michaels' program. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If you're making the effort. Like, I saw a meme or something. I forget what it was recently. It got quiet when everybody leaves.
It did, yeah. Everyone
went
left.
from the loudest ever to nobody
to nothing. That's usually
so
how
funny.
It works, yeah.
It's funny. But I see that there's this new meme popping around, and it's of a heavier woman, and it says something like, why would you make fun of a person heavy at the gym
who's trying to better themselves?
So you saw what I'm talking about, right? So like when you're progressing towards bettering yourself, whether it be through reading or
why does it matter? Like at that point,
no, but kudos to you, bro. Good for you. And how can I help?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Listen, by the way, you do the Jillian Michaels workout and you think it's phenomenal, I'll come do it with you in your basement for 5 minutes. Reciprocate, come do some.
But here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah, and you might find something you like. You might figure out, wow, these guys aren't all these animals that we think they are.
Yeah.
No, dude. This is a community.
Huge hulking characters throwing around hundreds of pounds. Of course, everyone has some. You go to Planet Fitness, you'll find some. You go to a powerlifting gym, you'll find some.
That's true.
You'll find them in every outlet of any gym out there.
Yep.
So
well, listen, man. I mean, I can't believe it, but we are 28 minutes into this.
Seriously.
Listen, all it takes is some good conversation.
How do you pronounce it? Duchesse?
Duchesse.
Duchesse.
That's a good way to do it, yeah.
This beer is ridiculously good. And for anyone out there watching at home or listening, buy it for sure. This is
faux show.
Listen, I'm halfway through, and it's up there in terms.
It's one of the ones where you're sad when it's gone.
Yes,
right?
For sure. Yep.
Yeah, like when it's done, you're like.
And listen, we're going to be focusing more on local beers, of course, but I think this is the exception to the rule, and I think that this is one that you guys definitely need to try.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
a good one, dude. I knew when I saw it today in the Whole Foods. That's where I went and bought it. When I saw it, I was like,
Shameless plug.
Not really. Oh, by the way, if Whole Foods wants to sponsor this show, just hit me up, dog. So listen, let's end it on this note. We are hoping that if you're enjoying what you're hearing so far, you'll go out to iTunes, and Google Podcasts and Google Play or Spotify, whatever your choice.
All
of
platforms.
listening. All of them.
All platforms.
Yeah, and do me a favor and subscribe to those. iTunes right now is what we're going after. Go on to iTunes, hit the subscribe button, give us a 5-star love bird, right? Tell us how great
and
we
also
are.
hit us up on social media. If you guys have recommendations about beers or guests or topics, let us know. We want to be as interactive with you guys as possible, and we want you guys to feel like you have some say.
I love every second of that. So we probably should have a saying where we close it down.
Yeah, well, we just did all the fitness things, and now
How about if we do this? What if we ended it with cheers to your health and your fitness?
cheers to your health and your
It
fitness.
incorporates the beer. It incorporates the fitness.
I like it.
All right. So, well, listen. Episode 2 is in the books, my man.
It's all done. I love it.
All right. So join us for the next one. You're going to hear episode 3's coming soon. Drop us some comments. Cheers to your health and fitness.
Cheers to your health and fitness.
It's that time.
Yes, sir. Come on.
You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Come on.
We talking Barbells and Brews in here. Every week talking fitness and how to get this favorite beer. They feature on brew every week. On top of that, give you tips on keeping your stomach flat, looking sleek. Chaz and Jean got you covered on both scenes. You'll be curling 16s and mastering your cleans. You ain't gotta listen to no one else. They mix fun with education to better yourself. What more could you ask for? Hit subscribe if you wanna keep your lifting and drink game live. Your workout lacking, your diet need help. With Barbells and Brews, leave your worries on the shelf, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, it's Barbells and Brews, yo. It's Barbells and Brews. Yeah, with Chaz and Jean, you can't lose. Come on.